In 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi and welcome. We're so glad you're joining us. I'm Greg.
I'm Dee.
And we are the leaders of Swift Family Robeson Expedition. Well, you promised a little tour of the rig inside.
I did, and I'm excited to show you guys inside how we make things work and how we fit our family of 7 in this Grand Design Solitude 3470BH.
How did you do that? You must have looked that up
I
before we
did
shot
look
this.
it up.
A little disclaimer, just so you know, we always live in this level of cleanliness with 5 children. It's true.
It's always the same.
I'm not married to a surgical nurse. Are you guys ready to go inside and see? Come on, let's go. So there were 3 main things that attracted us to this particular model. One is obvious, it's the size. So I fit in this, even in the 5th wheel section, the bedroom up top. I can stand up. I'm 6'10", as my wife mentioned in previous episodes, and I don't feel crunched, which is an amazing thing. So that's the first thing. The second is the layout. So we'll show you a little bit more here, but just the way that it's kind of segmented so people, there's a sense of space. A lot of rigs that we looked at just seemed like one big giant rectangle, one big giant room, and it's just hard to imagine being full time. And the last thing that was the big draw,
The coffee bar.
one of the keys to the space and the layout is multi-purpose. So the kitchen table, we eat there, we play games there, we study there. This model comes with the option for a big long couch along this wall over here, and that'd be great for entertainment or for watching movie night or whatever. But that makes it harder to be multi-purpose with the space. So that was one of the reasons we chose this specific one. Plus these wonderful chairs are heating, vibrating, massaging, which is why the little one's sleeping in it right now. So.
She's happy. This is our kitchen, dinette, and TV room, all in one. The cool thing about this space is that it has opposing slides, which makes it feel so big and allows you to have this island, which makes it really homey. And you have 2 ways to get where you need to go, which is very important when you're climbing over 6 people. So let's start with our entertainment center. These are the king and queen seats, which we fight over sometimes with our kids. There's only 1 cup holder, so whoever gets here first wins. But they have this neat little table, which honestly, it does work really well for computers. We also have our dinette, which seats 4 people, but we end up pulling up a chair or something for the 5 kids to sit at, which is fine because we have littles. This is one of the storage solutions we decided to opt for. It's a storage bench for our 2-year-old's toys, but it also acts as extra seating and a place, kind of a nice little short table for her to put her Legos on or play with crayons. So she's set. This is her space. And we opted for some rugs in our RV to make it a little bit warmer. While you're traveling pretty quickly, it might be more of a pain than a comfort to have rugs that you have to roll up. But as we are stationary for a few weeks, we find that this adds a little bit of softness, it buffers the sound, and it works really well for us. This is another thing that makes it feel super homey. Look at this fireplace. It's so beautiful. It's actually pretty warm outside right now, so there's no heat coming from here, but there's several settings where you can have this thing blowing out some major heat, and it is so nice on a crisp morning to come in here and quietly drink coffee by the fireplace. And I'm looking forward to using this fireplace to hang our stockings for Christmas. I'm just so glad we have a fireplace. Now we come to our kitchen, And I did not know that we would use this so often. I love my convection oven. The reason being is it is electric and not gas. I love having my gas stove. It works beautifully. The oven, on the other hand, it works great on the top rack. On the bottom rack, not so much. Anything you put on the bottom rack will burn. It doesn't matter if you have a pizza stone in there, it will burn. So, and we also have a nice little warming door. This is something that's very cool. When you decide to downsize, you can invest in some little things like this, which are space savers. Find them on Amazon. It's really great. Foldable cookware. This is another one of those things that I tried to use a command strip on, and basically it was raining for the first 3 weeks where we were in this rig, so I had to nail it, which is fine. I would prefer nailing it and securing it when it's sharp things like this, but these things work great. I do not work for IKEA. These are a couple of containers I already had at home, but lo and behold, they fit perfectly in this space. And this is where we keep our cleaning supplies and sponges, little cleaning basin. Just to give you an idea of the depth of the drawers and the width, there's tons of space in this particular model. I had looked at some models that were pretty funny when it comes to their kitchen space and storage. They had none, which just does not work out for a family like ours. Cups, plates, lots of paper plates. The tiny human stole my sanity. That's my favorite cup. Here is our pantry. We just used what we already had existing in our home pantry. Obviously the taller containers go up here where we've got tons of room. We've got some things that we use every day on the lower shelves, like the kids' cups. They can grab those, the everyday cookware. So it works for us. One thing that we did invest in is a Berkey filter, which I thought was really funny. I thought these were for super crunchy people. But it's funny when you're traveling throughout the country, the water just changes. It's not always great tasting, it's not always great smelling, it's got lots of chemicals you're not used to. This is well worth it. When you pack things pretty tight, they won't move around on you. They won't. And so you avoid the whole opening door and having things fall all over you. When they're packed tight, you are able to maintain that order. They have this cute little space here where my step fits, which is great. And this is our refrigerator, which was a concern of mine because we have 7 people. I don't want to go shopping every day. There's plenty of space in here. And not to mention there's another refrigerator downstairs in the outside kitchen, which we will go over. I keep healthy food readily visible in clear containers. You can find those anywhere, but it does help all of us try to eat a little bit more healthy. Chore charts. This makes everything better. So there's a few reasons why we bought this rig. I love my children, and I love them more than coffee, but don't make me prove that, because coffee is vital. We have a coffee bar with all of our beautiful coffee mugs, and yes, they are glass, but they're protected. This is where all of our coffee things live. It's my happy place, my coffee maker, and everybody has these junk drawers that are actually not spacious enough to be junky, but you have papers, scissors, everything you need. And you actually have more storage space in here, which we keep all the s'mores, stuff in here, and none of the kids have found it yet, except for the one that's behind the camera right now. But she's not gonna tell anybody. These smaller spaces they're not normal. Until you actually get your rig and do some measurements, you're not gonna know what to buy for your storage space. So I waited and found the exact things that we needed to buy and fit in our space. And it actually works pretty nicely. this is our bedroom. Yay! This is, oh, see this? This is amazing. See this door? Yes. It's a real door. And the bunkhouse is at the other end of the rig. This is key. Something that is wonderful in this room that I love is my desk. This is just a piece of wood from IKEA. I got this idea from another vlogger that was able to make a desk, and this is great extra space for when I want to check my email, when one of my sons wants to play a video game on my computer or do homework. It's a desk and a dresser. That's awesome. Also, we have these hanging in certain places all over the rig. It's a nice little hot file that helps you keep a little bit of organization and keeps things off the counters, off the surfaces. One thing that I found, in a small space, even the smallest bit of clutter will drive you insane. Keep your spaces clean, keep your surfaces clean, and it won't feel like such a cramped small space. The drawers that we have are pretty shallow, but when organized appropriately, it really works. We just fold things where you can see everything. We also have these shoe containers. They work great for the kids' shoes. It's lovely because they're not all over the floor when they walk in. This is one of those things that I waited to get to see if I really needed it, and it was only like 2 days before I decided to order it on Amazon. This is a must-have. If you have children or a lot of shoes, you have to have it. So, this bed, this is the one question that people ask me all the time. How do you sleep in the RV? How are the mattresses? I'm not gonna lie, the mattresses are not great. Now, I don't know a lot about the mattresses, but all we did was replace it with our own, and we've slept great. This is another beauty that we actually had for our schoolroom, but this is from IKEA. It's lightweight. It can vary the height for whoever's gonna sit on it. It's perfect for this desk. We move it in there for dinner. It's really versatile and just another solution. Next is our closet. Nice little lock that keeps it shut when you're moving. It's actually very spacious. So let me take you piece by piece. This shelf has a good enough storage on either side to hold one of these storage containers right now. It just holds my daughter's shoes, the little one. My husband's folding clothes. This is everyday and workout and stuff clothes. So the 6'10" man gets the highest shelf. That's how it works in our family. So hanging clothes. I will say that these coat hangers work really well. It's only annoying when you really need something off the hanger and it won't come. But when you're traveling, they're fantastic. And they squish pretty close together. So as you can see, there's a lot of clothes in that little space. So behind here, I'll show you, excuse the noise. We've got 3 shelves of plentiful storage. They're pretty deep. As you can see, they hold a whole basket. Folding clothes, shoes, printer. We actually use it quite often for the kids' school, and of course with my contracts, I like to print off the contracts so I have something to hold in my hand. The other beautiful, beautiful thing is my washer dryer combo. Not every RV park that you go to has a washer dryer. We use it every day, probably several times. Small loads, and they do come out wrinkled no matter what you try, but at least they're clean and they work. A hint of where we might be going later. There's more storage, enough to fit a couple of like 2 or 3 shoe boxes, maybe even more, probably 4 or 5. Keep some bags down here, some notebooks. So there's tons of little tiny nooks and crannies that you can organize your things with. For a homeschooling family, we use every single bit. But on the other side, there's a whole other rack for clothes. So my husband's clothes are here, and this is all the space we need. If you're wondering what RV storage is like, they use every last bit of space. This is like right where the nose is, so it's a little bit of an odd shape, but it's a great storage space. This is our underbed storage. We use this space all the time. It is a huge gift. We've got these long containers for rainy day activities, puzzles, paints, things that we don't get out all the time and don't want to leave out all the time. Art projects. We use these containers for maintaining our school books throughout the year. We are done with school at this time, so we're sending them back to St. Louis. However, they make great additions to even a home for organization. The kids have their own bin, they hold all their school books. We get them out for the day and they stack nicely on top of each other. They don't take a ton of space. Everybody's got their own color coordinated. Pretty soon we'll be going to an online curriculum, which will save us even more space. The books are super heavy. So when you think about 4 kids at 50 pounds each, that's 200 pounds I'm shedding as we are traveling, which is awesome. Every traveling family needs a map. I've seen a lot of maps in a lot of RV families. We just have a basic one that we got from a teaching store that the kids love. Tracking where we're going, looking at our routes, and especially when we're deciding on going on, maybe the next area, they want to see what's around there. They want to see how long it's going to be to get there. So this is just a fun discussion tool. Do you see every YouTube RV family, the woman has a hat like this on their thing? For me, it's just a sign of freedom. I can wear my hat and relax. This symbolizes vacation. This symbolizes traveler, and I love that. It's like my passport. This is our spacious bathroom. You can come on in and look at the shower. I know everybody's wondering how much headspace is here.
Let's just say there's a good thing we have a skylight on the shower.
There's lots of room here, and look, there's actually like a little mini tub here. So I can give the little tiny people a bath. This has plenty of storage. I think the key is when you're traveling, pack it in so things don't topple over like this. When I'm traveling, I'll put something in here. Probably put something in this here, and that will help on our travel days. Little small containers for nail clippers, thermometers. That helps out quite a bit. So people talk about command strips. These are just the Velcro strips. These are stronger. The Velcro strips work on almost everything. We've got some storage in here. And one of the key things, first of all, none of these spaces are normal. They're all kind of odd sized, and what they're doing is trying to give you as much space as possible in even the little nooks and crannies. Turn your containers on their side. You actually have more space. You work up instead of out, and that gives you a little bit more space. And the other tip, try to be as crafty as you can with your storage. Like this is like a triangle storage container, so instead of a box or a little container, I have a soft container which actually fits in quite nicely. While you are getting better and better all the time at utilizing your small space, you are constantly moving one thing to get to whatever's behind there. The more organized you become, the more efficient you become. So you're not moving one thing constantly. This is why I believe people, once they've downsized, they continue to downsize. They're just tired of moving a certain object or tired of reshuffling. We don't like that. These are really narrow spaces, but they're super deep. I can stick my whole arm back there. There's plenty of space way back in the back. We've got the things we use most: hair dryer, hair curler, shampoo, toilet paper, trash bags up at the front, while the back parts have maybe the shaver or extra soap, stuff like that. That's our little storage area. Just have to store things in a smart way. This is the bunkhouse. Look at this first of all. This beautiful door. So this locks, which is nice when you're moving. And it's a really cool farm door design, which closes but does not lock shut. But it does close. We can sleep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people really. This is not really a full space, but you can fit 3 small people up there.
I like how it's high off the ground. It's like a little parkour area to jump down and get up. I also like what we just added in the new curtains. So it's a little area in the back. I actually didn't want that, so I just put it in there. Annoying sometimes. Everyone wants to play Xbox. And then I have to turn it on for them because I don't want them stepping in the bunk with their dirty feet. I think it's the biggest bed like in the whole RV. I got the biggest area to myself, which is great. It's nice. I have full leg room. If I scoot my backpack over, like completely down. Perfect.
This is the cool place to be. We also gave them some little privacy curtains, which makes them feel like they're in a cocoon, and it's just a fun way to get some alone time, have some quiet time together, and it helps them calm down at night. They stop talking to each other and
What's your favorite part about your bunk and your space on the RV, Kate?
My toys and my music box and my curtains. I usually keep them closed at night.
This couch folds out into a full bed where my 14-year-old sleeps. Again, another little hot file here.
I really like the storage under my bed. I have a whole under couch to store all my art stuff, which is useful.
What'd you install in there?
Fairy lights I got for Christmas. One of my sets already broke, so I had to work with one set, so it's not as bright as it could be.
Here's our reading nook, like a little tree house up here. You have your window, and they can play video games up here. They love it. Here is another bunk, which is also pretty cool for my Eli. When the slides come in, you don't want loose toys like rolling around, getting in the way of your slide. So this was a way that I can make sure his guns, his Legos, balls didn't get caught in the slide as we traveled. Now we also have this net here, which is a protective cover against that, but you can't tell me that water guns wouldn't fall through there.
I like the space. Like there's a lot of headroom. Like I was in a bedroom. I was expecting a tiny bunk, like half the size of Emily's bed, because it's an RV and everything has to be really small. But you get like all this space, and there's so much, like you can sit in any possible way to just have a lot of room, and it's just the best. I got a whole bunch of papers here, and like artwork, and my sunglasses hanging there. And then I keep all my stuff that I use daily, and my toothbrush, my toothpaste, and all my hats right behind my Captain America pillow. And then I just keep all my toys in my backpack.
One thing I really loved about this model was the storage that it had for the little people that you bring with you. We have hanging storage. We have one drawer for each child. My older daughter, she has her storage somewhere else. We also have drawers, one drawer for each child, so they can have books, underwear, pants for some. So they get to pick what they put in their own, as long as they keep it neat. This is another reason why we chose this rig. At first, we were not looking at this rig. We were looking at a mid bunk where one of my sons would have had to sleep out in the main area, and we only had one bathroom. We decided it was better to separate the children from the parents and make sure that everybody was treated equally with the same bunks. And we get this second bathroom. Now this is just a half bath, but it is That's the beautiful thing. The kids have their own space. My teenage daughter gets to get ready here. This is a great storage space behind in this. It's full of. But this is where my daughter keeps her clothes. That is her storage. This is a perfect, beautiful day to give you a tour of the outside. We definitely use this little baby. Overflow goes here, or we use it for our drink storage. We have an outdoor grill here, which is gas powered. Just some nice storage here for forks, remote, napkins. Look at all the storage though. This is huge. I didn't know that was there. Lots of overflow. Of course, if you can't resist the run to Costco or Sam's, this is going to be a lifesaver. We have the beautiful sink here and lights and the door that is usually attached. I keep on going like that. This is our pretty. I'm just gonna do sign language the whole time because my mouth is not working. I'm laughing at myself because it just spit everywhere again. It's the second time I've done it 2 weeks in a row. The piece de resistance. My pantry. Oh, we're not gonna show that yet. What did I put back there? Oh, my oven mitt fell back. So, I always say so. Cut the vlogger, which had my daughter has the hiccups. Oh, just one second. Let me get in here. I forgot to hide this. I love hats. Why don't people wear hats anymore? I think that they're so classy. No, we have a bunkhouse because we have 5 kids. Five. I have had nothing to drink at all.
Bye. Bye bye.